Welcome back to Crash Bandicoot 4, brought to you by Rocket Rabbit Commentaries. We are proceeding to the Insanity Peak. After level 1 and getting a good grasp of the controls, tutorialization is still underway, while we get to the real meat of the plot of another time travel themed invention with reality-shattering elements.
No, we have glowy mushrooms now. Waha.
Crash crates given extra life. This is, I do appreciate, like, especially by the developer named Toys for Bob, that I got the impression that this game is supposed to be Junior's first Crash Bandicoot game.
Not really. I mean, it does act for the first world and about the first world and a half. The game is actually relatively simple, and it does tutorialize most of its mechanics relatively well. But to be perfectly honest, by the end of the game, no, this actually has some of the hardest and some of the most frustrating elements to ever be in the Crash Bandicoot series.
I agree with the amount of frustration you describe with respect to achievements, in as much as you're actually trying to 100% the game. Crash Bandicoot 2 would tell you how close you are to 100% completion. Crash Bandicoot 3 told you how close you were to 105% completion. In this game, well, just like I did at one point, especially when I got pushed so far as to start looking up guide videos to get some of the accomplishments in this game, you would want to settle for less than 100% achievement if you really wanted to just hack it and have a good casual experience.
Yeah. And here's our first mask gimmick, although we don't actually have our mask yet.
The mask gimmicks start appearing in the levels in which you get the masks. There are 4 masks in the game, and they are all relatives of Aku Aku. We're going to be meeting Loli by the end of this episode, because after meeting Loli, we get to the bottom of what the heck is going on in Crash Bandicoot land.
Oh, come on, Cloud. You had to know that was going to happen.
Yeah, that is an old Crash Bandicoot hazard, is when a TNT crate is stacked up on top of other crates, that it will fall due to gravity. The dreaded quintuple steel stack. Previously an intraversable obstacle, but now made dumb easy to get through because of double jump.
Well, to be perfectly honest, Crash 3 was also you were also able to scale that with double jump.
Yes, but you had to unlock double jump first. You also were not used to having double jump until you got double jump in Crash Bandicoot 3, which came out 2 years after Crash Bandicoot 1. That's 2 years of not having this super duper platforming correcting ability.
Checkpoint. Well, we got the first 2 Wumpa Gems. Hey,
Crash Bandicoot has always been a game very dedicated to music, theming, and rhythm. So get used to the rhythm of alternating platforms like these so that you can get the TNT crates without falling to your doom.
I think you missed one, didn't you?
I probably did, yeah. And once again, Crash Bandicoot has no lines of dialogue whatsoever.
No, well, yeah, he is a voice. He is a mute cartoon protagonist, and he's not even entirely mute.
Well, I mean, like Loli, like they'll even put subtitles for him, just going But Crash Bandicoot 4, Crash doesn't even get something as simple as...
You skipped a hidden gem.
Yeah, it was. That was not a hidden gem. That was in plain sight to make you feel stupid. Like, oh, you got scared of the big bad guy. Well, next time, put down your baby bottle and binky and pull your pants up, get that gem, and outrun this clown. We're back to the boulder chase gimmick. Every Crash Bandicoot game has had a boulder chase gimmick.
I'm surprised that those don't actually deal damage to you. They just slow you down.
Well, you don't want to be slowed down when the big baddies chasing after
Whoosh.
you. Oh no, he's back. They want you to slide jump underneath those. You're welcome to just spin right through them. That was a close one.
You missed 2 boxes.
I'll have to get another chance at it. The reality-shattering proportions trophy is unlocked when you complete the Insanity Peak level and meet your first Aku Aku buddy, Lani-Loli.
Yep.
Now let us have a dialogue with Lani-Loli.
Hey, Coco.
Wah, wah, wah.
Lani-Loli? If the quantum mast had returned,
Hey, Aku, how's it going? Is that a quantum rift?
Now, Lonnie is voiced by Zim, right?
The kind we keep shut. We have to
Is he?
I'm pretty sure he is.
fix this before some putz with a big evil plan and a bigger ego does something.
Yeah, he's got to be Invader Zim.
Richard Horvitz is his name, yes, and he was the voice of Invader Zim while Dr. Neo Cortex scratches his butt and listens to his more competent ally, Entropy. I am pleased for the voice acting in this game.
Engine, Embryo, you had some little projects you wanted to tell me about?
Not so crazy about how Engine looks in this game. I preferred his insane trilogy appearance.
And them unstoppable. Right, you're fine, Joe. Have fun with your ray guns or whatever.
Poor Cortex. He doesn't like being subservient. We'll prevail. Entropy is actually really menacing in this game, which is kind of weird because I always assumed that the British stereotype was meant to take a lot of the intensity out of him, but apparently no, he was supposed to be this menacing originally.
And he did prove to be one of the more annoying boss fights in Crash Bandicoot 3.
You see, I disagree.
Welcome.
I disagree with that. To be perfectly honest, I think that Entropy in Crash 3 is actually really simple.
With some practice.
And not even with some practice. All of his attacks are relatively well telegraphed.
Now we're going to
we have been introduced into the world map.
the dimensional map. Yes, the world map. This dimensional map applies a more familiar map design to Crash Bandicoot 1 with elements also of Crashes 2 and 3. The latter two allowed you to select among options of levels, like, well, Crash Bandicoot 2 and 3 specifically. You had a choice of 5 different levels you could do at any one. You can do them in any order. In this game, you do have to unlock level by level in a corridor style. However, just like in Crash Bandicoot 1, along the way, you can occasionally find alternate levels that you could do instead of just doing the levels that are required for game completion.
Although you should do those, despite the fact that they end up being partial replays of the levels that you just did.
Now we're going to watch the opening cutscene to a real grind, because in this game, they introduce each of the bosses of the islands that you run into on the dimensional map with a cutscene.
control the aforementioned putts.
Don't worry. We have a thing where we fight, he loses. It's a well-established dynamic.
Not this time.
Yes, this time, Engine. Because although you have one of the cooler bosses in the game, you're also like our first actual boss. So.
I'm ready to rock.
Weapon of mass percussion. I saw that little pun there.
Be safe, everybody.